Hey guys, I haven't been live in a while and I'm a bit under the weather today. I was just lying down to nap and I kept hearing this little intuitive hit that was like, nope, you're supposed to do a live. You're supposed to do a live. Get on and do a live. So here I am. There have been things that have been coming up in my awareness recently that I wanted to chat about, and I'll make this short and sweet and open it up to a inquiry and conversation with you about where this lands in your body and how this feels in your truth. So I was talking to someone a few nights ago, and he was telling me how his sexual expansion was the final frontier of his awakening. And I found this to be really true in my work that I'm doing, the people that I'm connecting with lately. We have this moment, and if you've had this, let me know. We have this moment where truth comes to us, where we feel fully understanding of the purpose of our lives, the missions in our lives. We know who we are. We know what we're here to say. And we expand, right? And we become these bright beings. And then what happens, or what I've seen happen, and a pattern that I've seen happen, is in that expansion, we then lose our humanity, right? So we then lose this embodiment of being a human being inside of this spiritual experience. I think this Facebook Live is more for me to get these thoughts down than it is for anything else, because they've been percolating and they feel like they need a vessel. One of the things, I was working with a client last week, and she is a very, very strong light worker. She's like obviously put on this earth to do her work and really get there. And her entire life, and just let me know if this resonates with you, her entire life, her body never felt right to her because there was a bigger sense of who she was. She always knew that she was bigger than her body, right? That the truth of her was bigger than her body. And so her whole life, unknowingly, kind of subconsciously, she was trying to make her body perfect enough to hold the divinity within her. And in many ways, she was also kind of debunking her body. So I had the same experience, coming to my sexual expansion, where I realized that my whole life I had been trying to make my body thinner, better, using crazy food things to try to match the spirituality that was inside of me. And in many ways, I was almost bypassing my body's basic needs, my body's basic desires. And sexuality, for me, I don't know if anyone else has had that experience. Let me know, because I think this is like a pattern that I'm seeing. I think this is a thing here. I'm getting excited about it. Where, of course, we don't want to be in our bodies if we come into this world knowing that we're light, right? That we know that we're this massive expansion, that we're like way bigger than anything that our body can hold. We don't want to be here. It doesn't feel safe. And it makes sense. And we're still a human with these human experiences. We still get to have turn on, like dirty, carnal, lusty turn on. We don't have to constantly be flying out in the Netherlands of spiritual perfection, which isn't even a thing, right? So how much can we still allow ourselves to sit in our humanity? How much can we still allow ourselves to be embodied in our truth so that we are having connections? A lot of us, when we hit this place of enlightenment, we then turn off these true, honest, vulnerable connections because they're not vibrationally appropriate, right? And so we run around kind of judging the situations that our bodies are in, and putting up these strong boundaries that, honestly, if we look at it from the point of that our bodies are the vessels for our truth to maneuver around the world and help to raise the consciousness of everyone. Let's be in our bodies so that we can have the experience that's been brought to us each time. Rather than running and avoiding certain situations, why not be in it and check in and notice, ooh, there's discomfort. Ooh, there's anger. Ooh, there's turn on here. What's that about? Being inside of it so that we can then learn more about our own human experience. That's going to allow for love and connection with the people around us. And this is something that I see in relationships with beings that have found this level of awakening, where they're looking at their partner as not being awakened enough, right? So they're avoiding or they're escaping when their partner goes into their humanity. And my invitation to you is to then see it as an opportunity to be embodied in you, right? To be embodied in, wow, they're feeling their feelings, they're having their experience. Can I be inside of my experience as well, rather than floating to this place where I need to bypass my own emotion? And sexuality, once we reach this level of awakening, sexuality needs to be integrated into the body so that our nervous system can remember to ground, right? So that we can remain inside of us and not only have this very hierarchical sexuality, which is like union and spirit and like one love, but also allow ourselves to play in the darkness of BDSM kink, the darkness of just like raw carnal sex, the sensuality of just bodies and skin, without putting on top of it a necessity to find light only, right? To only be in the light. It's like there's this pattern that I'm seeing of bypassing the truth of our own human experience, of our own lust, of the dirtiness, of the, it's like, we all know that we're not our stories. And our stories give us an experience and a connection. And in being in that muckiness and that ugliness and that dirtiness, we can find this underbelly, this layer of true connection. And I guess this is the point. I didn't really know what the point of this Facebook Live was, but I guess this is the point. And thank you guys for listening and helping me merge all of this and create this, is that when we can be fully inside of our sexuality, playing in the energies of darkness and light, playing in the energies of turning on and off our bodies, playing in the energy of fear and sadness and anxiety, when we can really, really let ourselves in that and not fix it or change it in ourselves or the people, the lovers that we're with, then what happens is it allows for true connection between two beings. And that's our work. That's our human mission work on this planet. It's not to be outside of our humanity. We get to do that when we pass away, right? Here we are in the work of true relationship with friends, with lovers, with turn on, with turn off, with fears, with joy, with sadness, with truth. So yeah, I guess that's my point. Thank you guys. It's fun to play with you. Let me see what people are saying. Ashley, hey Ashley, good to meet you, love. I love my body. Yeah. She says, I struggled with safety and security due to sexual abuse, but now that I've reacquainted myself with my body, I just love it so much. Yeah, I've had the same experience, love. Isn't it the most freeing thing? I love physicality in human life. Spiritual and physical aren't mutually exclusive to me. I hope everyone can embrace the spiritual physical blessing. Yeah, thank you for putting into words what I've been feeling so much. That was beautiful, Ashley. Thank you, hon. And Dana, I see you on here yesing. And yes, Ashley, yes, not leaving the physical. We do that later. Right now, let's be in our body, right? Let's be there. Dana, yes. Love you, honey. Thank you for all your sweet support and comments. And I would love I would love for us to, you know, I was feeling I wanted to do this video because I have a fever today. And my spiritual bypassing was like, let's like just not have a fever. Like let's just figure out how to not have a fever. And I was like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. My body is going to feel whatever it's going to feel. And I'm not going to run away from it. I'm not going to try to change it. I'm actually going to connect into my body and maybe connect with someone else who can help me feel taken care of. Ooh, this is another point, right? There's often this spiritual awakening piece that we now are completely sovereign, which is true. We are completely alone, right? We are totally sovereign. It's between us and our spiritual divine perfection. And we don't want to ignore the parts of ourselves that want to be taken care of. Today, there is such a strong part of me that so badly wants to just cuddle up and be taken care of because this fever is like, ugh. And with that, I'm noticing all of my human emotions and my waves and all the things coming up. And I'm not going to judge or turn that part of me away because she's beautiful. She wants to be held. Love her, right? Like, yes, I have all of it. In awakening, there's a coming back to understanding that I can hold all of my stuff. You can hold all of your stuff, yes. And we still can have this experience of being held by others. Dana, thank you for cuddling me. Thank you. I would love to be cuddled right now. All right, I'm going to disappear now because this feels right and complete. Tomorrow I'm going to jump on with Ariel Brown, who gets this. She's a rock star, and I love her and her truth and who she is as a being and how she shows up in her humanity. Ariel, if you're watching this, you are such a light and a love. I'll be on tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern on her page, so make sure to friend her and follow her. But we're going to be talking about deregulating the nervous system and how much sexuality plays an important role in that, so that we can then open up to our freedom and our truth. Because if we have constriction around any area of our lives, right, the nervous system is tight, we're not going to be able to receive the flow of who we are. And so I'm going to come on with her and give some tips and tools for deregulation through turn on, which is really, really fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4. And I'm glad that I listened to that little voice that wanted me to pop on a Facebook Live. Is it okay that I'm wearing a sweatshirt and have a fever? Totally. Love it so much. And let me just, before I run, I want to read these last couple comments. Ashley, thanks for talking about this. On a journey of going even deeper. Yeah, this is the final frontier of spiritual awakening. It's clear. It's clear. This actually reminds me, I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable here, if that's okay. The other day I was talking to a brilliant man and sharing with him my humanity and my pain around some of my sexual violations. And I was feeling my rage about not being able to clear it just with my divine connection, like not being able to clear it just by like letting God come in. And I was feeling all the sadness and all the rage, and he was feeling it and holding it, and we were allowing it and loving it and trusting it. And there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to move through. There was nowhere to be. There was nothing that we needed to do to change anything. And we both came to this conclusion at the end of our connection that sexuality, we were first got angry about how this shit happens to people everywhere because we're so disembodied in our society that we are constantly violating each other. Yeah. And then we realized, I said to him, you know, maybe the way to not only heal, but catalyze and transform all of this pain and grief and rage from people who have been mistreated sexually is to find it through sexuality, find it through embodiment. It doesn't feel like I'm getting this intuitive nudge that this massive transformational healing isn't going to happen through mindset work, isn't going to happen through pure spiritual work. It feels like it needs to be inside of the body, because the level of pain that was in my body when I was moving through that with him felt like I had, like, it was crazy. It was like, whoa. And even though my mind was like, yes, like God is here, like I am love, I am light, my body was like, and that's the nervous system stuff that we're going to talk about tomorrow with Ariel. Like, it's rooted in our nervous system, and that doesn't mean that there's anything to fix or that there's anything wrong with our bodies. Right? Like, I could have that pain for the rest of my life and I will still be just as awakened and aware and real as I was before the pain, right? Or as I would be without the pain. Like, we can have the pain there. And the pain for me feels like a lean in, so that I can then find this other side of like, okay, let's lean in, let's be in the pain, let's own it, not to try to fix it or transform it, but let's do something physical. Let's do something sexual that's then going to allow my nervous system to be here now with you. Awakening is presence, reality, truth. Awesome. All right, I got on a tangent, Ashley. Thank you for sparking that. Let me see. Lacking the pent-up energy, she said, for her is turning into anger and rage. Yeah. Yeah, you're discovering it for the first time. Yeah. I'm with you, love. I'm with you. I'm just reading these comments from Dana. Oh my God, love you. Ashley, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Dana, I'll see you tomorrow at 4. All right. Feels good for me to go and take a nap now and be with my body, but loving all of you for this truth, sharing in this truth with me, and being in your truth and waking up to what's real.